Okay, thank you. All right, I'm not used to using a microphone, but can you hear me? You're good? Okay.
You don't have to if you don't want to. Feel free to move
Well,
around.
we'll see. I sway, but I'll try to talk loud. I do not have a voice for radio. I have maybe a face for one, but that's a full-time joke. Ashleigh Rogers, and thank you for having us here. It's great to continue to meet candidates along the campaign trail. I live in Kansas City with my partner. We raise our 5 and 4-year-old sons. And I'm actually from Dade County, which is south of Stockton Lake, if you're familiar with that side of the state. But I come from a very long line of Southwest Missouri Democrats. My grandma grew up in Hartville, and I have family members here in Webster County as well as Wright County. But I grew up in a small town, and I liked growing up in a small town, even though it was majority Republican, because I think as you guys experience every day, as I did growing up, most of your day-to-day isn't talking politics. I mean, it's really about building your communities. It's about helping your neighbor out. So I took those principles with me when I went to Kansas State to earn my interior architecture degree. And then I went to Houston, Texas to start my professional career. Now, I was looking to move home a little over 11 years ago, back closer to aging parents and grandparents. And I got a job at a global architecture firm in Kansas City. A year and a half ago, I took on a leadership role within that company as the America's Resource Manager. And I am responsible for making sure 600 people of our employees are busy all across America. I really take their skills and experience and align it with our project needs. And since I did production on that side for over 18 years, I understand the team dynamics, and I understand when conflict arises, how we're gonna address that, because it will definitely arise along the way. But my favorite part is really aligning hopes and dreams, really understanding what an individual career goal is, helping them navigate a work-life balance, and then taking a team from something very small and really building it up to be quite successful. So as the redistricting lines started to take shape, I realized District 4, the new District 4, would include Dade County, where I grew up, and the small little sliver that they carved out in Kansas City, where I live today. And I thought, well, isn't that an interesting narrative? Could I take what I know has been successful in my professional career and really bridge this gap between urban and rural and red and blue? Now, before we get into questions, because I don't want to talk the whole time, we do have a lot of candidates in this race. And so I wanted to talk about strategy and viability for flipping the seat. Like Randy said, and I love running into candidates all along the way because there really are a great group of people, qualified, smart people, and funny. If you could ball us up into one candidate, we would be unstoppable. We really would. But we all have the overall arching goals of a Democratic Party, but we're gonna approach it a little differently because we have different experiences and perspective. But we need to have a reality check here. District 4, we're red, we're behind. Now the old lines, we were 20, 25 points behind. The new lines, it's a slimmer margin, but we're still behind, 12, 15 points. So it's not impossible, but it's not gonna be a blue wave that comes in. There's not gonna be this magic rock and a whole bunch of Democrats pop out. It's just not gonna happen. So we need buy-in. We need buy-in from our neighbors who are independents and Republican. So this is what I'm proposing for strategy. And it's gonna involve each of you. Sorry, you have to participate. You're here, so you're gonna participate. You need to reach out to your independent and Republican friends and neighbors. The ones you know are in the majority middle. The ones you can have a conversation with. Look, we're not gonna get every vote. We don't want every vote, we know that. But I've been having discussions with my independent Republican friends, and we end up at the same solution. We may kind of bounce around a little bit, but they're fed up too. They're out there. So I need you to reach out to them. And I'm only gonna have you ask them one question. When you woke up this morning, or go to bed at night, or however you wanna phrase it, what was weighing on your mind? And then just sit back and listen. They're gonna say something that resonates with you. It's gonna be some common ground, everyday something. And when they do, don't lecture them about Democrat, liberal views, or how you got what you voted for, as tempting as that may be, we gotta park that to the side. This is about strategy, this is about buy-in. Instead, tell them this: I too share in that struggle, whatever it is, and I wanna work on it with you. And you have a voice in this campaign, because this campaign puts people above corporations. This campaign will hold everyone accountable. It doesn't matter the letter next to your name. We're not a rubber stamp for anyone. This campaign doesn't have all the answers. I'm not an expert in a lot of things, but I need your perspective. We don't have to agree on everything to get a lot done for everybody. Now, I'm mad as hell about where we are today, but they don't want you talking to each other. They want you to think we're more divided than we are, and we are not. Manufactured chaos only keeps corruption in power, and that's got to stop. I'm ready to put teams together, teams of experts who are going to give us plans and backup plans and triple backup plans. You would think that that's a new idea with our current administration, but they're going to understand the complexities of the issues that they have dismantled for 30 years, and we can build it back better. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. That's why we need those experts coming in for each issue. I'm ready to build those teams. I hope to get your vote. But right now, I want to know, when you woke up this morning, what was on your mind? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I guess my concern is that we have laws, constitutions, amendments. We have it there already, and we're just not utilizing it.
Right.
How, as a candidate, are you going to utilize the regulations and laws and amendments that we already have and enforce them to remove people that are felons from office, or, you know, you can't run because you're, you know, and, you know, I don't understand that. I'm an ex-government employee, so I had to follow the rules. Why aren't they following the rules now?
Right. Yeah, everyone should follow rules. And they've dismantled it to a point, and they've created this chaos to make us just keep looking in each direction. It's like, oh, we're not gonna think about or talk about it over here, so let's distract them over here. It's distractions. And so we've got to keep our eye on the ball. And look, we're not gonna fix it day one, because it's a mess. But we need to be getting people together. Like whoever fills this seat through the primary, Randy's right. They gotta beat Mark Alford. We gotta start there. But we don't do it with just our district. We have to be supporting our friends in our other districts too. Like, this is the time, this is the movement. I think we all feel it right now. This is our one sliver of opportunity to come in and call it a blue wave, but it's gonna be more than just us. We have to start talking to our independent friends and our Republican friends.
My problem is, I don't have any independent. I don't know, except for this group right here.
Yeah.
I don't know, and if you bring something up, I try to do little things like, I get mad every time I go to the grocery store, just to people. And sometimes they'll say something back, but sometimes you can tell they're very guarded. They don't want to share anything. It's like the propaganda against Democrats has worked so well.
Sure.
Fox News has done such a good job to turn the country crazy.
Right.
And I don't know how to get back. So any tips you have would
Right.
help me.
Well, and I think Randy said it too. Like, you gotta get down to common ground. Like, I run into those same people. But I also grew up with a lot of people who are my friends who have known me my whole life. You have some of those people in your life. If you have to get down and be like, what's your favorite pizza? Okay, we gotta go there. Let's start somewhere. But if it's not gonna be an issue, you've gotta break that barrier with some common ground everyday stuff. It's the sports team. Oh, the rivalry that's happening on Friday night. Who are you for? Who's the good player? You gotta start breaking down the boundaries, and it's the long game. It's the strategy. Because as soon as they put up the guard, you can't just, oh, okay, back off. That's why we are where we are today. You gotta lean in. Like, okay, we'll sidestep that. Let's go over here and talk about this. It's a constant communication. We're not gonna agree on everything. And I thought egg prices was gonna be it. And I was like, okay, we got that a little under control, but here we are. But you gotta start somewhere, and you can't give up. They want you to think that there's no hope. There's hope.
You can
I have those
say,
conversations all the day. There's hope.
my favorite pizza is veggie, and immigrants picked all those vegetables.
There you go.
They're not picking them right now.
Yeah.
Right, so it's now just cheese. It's just cheese and sauce.
40%.
Yeah.
But you gotta start somewhere, and you gotta break it down, and you gotta bring in humor. I mean, I think that's why the candidates, this is gonna be a tough decision, because we all are, we're cool. I feel like we're cool, we're funny, we like to have a good time. And it's just gonna be who can break those barriers down. Like, and whoever is in this race after the primary, it's not like we're going away. Like, we did the thing to put our name on the ballot. Like, well, we're gonna lean into whatever that is, but we can't do it alone. And we can't do it alone with just the Democrats.
I think that's the part. So to respond to your question, this morning I woke up. I don't know how it comes across to you guys, but I actually get kind of nervous on these days because I know that one way or another we're supposed to get up here and start the thing off, and the part that I wake up nervous about is how are we going to fill this room? How are we going to get people engaged? I mean, you see it in every course. My social media has figured out what I'm into, and you just see it's like you get these diametrically opposed groups who will engage as far as Facebook comments, but they won't come and actually meet a candidate. They'll form opinions, they'll give the party talking points, but they won't show up here. And so I have met at least 100 people in this room or in one of our other meetings, and some of them I've seen once, and some of them I've they're once or twice a year, and I just in this time and what we're doing, I don't know how to get that consistent engagement. Nobody reads the same paper anymore. You can't reliably post something and have everybody see it. How do you get people to just dig in and do this work for these next few months? I mean, I know it's not the end of it, but these few months to get you guys in front of more people.
Yeah, well, and I think you guys are doing actually great. You've got a lot of great events happening, and I'm gonna try and make them all. But the schedules are stacking up because it's a big district too. So we're trying to hit all those people. And social media is hard. Like, just to create something and put it out there and hope it gets to enough people. And then the people on the other side, are they receiving it the way you intended? Or are they going to take something? Like, it's the misinformation. And so then you layer all that in. It's down to everyday people that you're running into. And you think you're maybe not making an impact. You being in this community is an impact. They know you're Democrats. They know you're good people. They see and talk to you. You can't tell me that these are the only people you talk to every day. You talk to them, having that interaction. And you don't have to talk about issues. You gotta start breaking down the barriers. And it's gonna be a long game. You gotta play that long game. Yes, ma'am.
This is for Joel.
Yeah.
So, two very Republican people approached and said, are we going to participate? One in the fair on the square, and the other is in the parade, and the other is putting ads in papers. And I was like, what? I mean, I stared at him like, I guess, yeah, we always do that. But to make sure that we were going to be there. So I was quite surprised. So
Yeah.
You are doing something.
Yeah.
See? See?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
The
I
very
mean-
public ones.
I mean, yeah, but you're asking more.
Don't duck your head. I've been in Wright County my whole life. I never ducked my head. There was about five families. My grandfather told me, don't duck your head, son. Keep your head up. So don't duck your head. Don't have to be mean about it, but don't ever duck your head. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you as a candidate, this is for you and you.
Yeah.
This is, parade is 147 years old this
Oh,
year.
wow.
And we're celebrating the 250th of our nation and the 100th of Route 66, which runs right through the middle of town.
Yeah.
And if you're not in this parade or at this event, you're not gonna win.
There are always a lot of Republican politicians there.
Yeah.
Always.
And we've had past presidents, senators, representatives, we've had all of them come. And it's a small town, but it's the oldest continuous 4th of July celebration west of Mississippi.
Oh, fantastic.
You can get all that out.
Say it 3 times fast. Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate your, talking to us about how to make friends with people that don't agree with us. But I think when you were speaking about that, my thoughts immediately turned to, I know what they're going to say, because I don't believe in abortion, I don't believe in gay rights, I don't believe, and therefore I can't vote for a Democrat. What would be your advice to have a response to that? I would know how I would respond. It would be, I think there are things that I have to vote for, even considering those things that you think that we don't,
Sure,
that we believe in.
yeah. Well,
So, how
and
would you handle that?
again, we don't have to agree, and we're probably not going to agree, even in this room, we're not gonna agree on everything, but we can still get a lot done. Now, I think of myself as a fiscally conservative person in general. Like, I have a household budget I like to maintain, but I am Democrat because of the social reasons, because I was raised that everyone should have the equal rights. And if you're gonna come after my friends, either in my rural friends or my urban friends, you're gonna have to go through me first to go after their rights. And that's why I continue to vote Democratic. Now, that also means I'm not gonna come after Republicans' rights. I'll also stand up, and you gotta go through me too, if you're gonna take their rights. So if we're gonna talk about economy, that's something we can all talk about. We need to have an economy that works for everyone. So let's start there. Maybe let's not start with the social issues. Let's come back to that. Let's table that and see if maybe we can agree on fiscal issues. And let's start there. I think manufacturing is a big one. I just listened to something on NPR that the manufacturing jobs, they're gone. The ones that they keep saying, oh, we're gonna get those back. They're not coming back. But the next trade agreement that we're about to make with China, that involves the chip and the intellectual property that we still maintain, this next trade agreement is pivotal. Because as soon as that's gone to China, that's that next tier of higher paying manufacturing jobs, and that's gone. And then our manufacturing really is gone. Instead, why don't we leverage that for Missouri? Why don't we create a biotech triangle? We've got Kansas City and St. Louis, huge medical hubs. Let's leverage Rolla all the way down to Springfield, that corridor right there on I-44, all the way back. Let's make a triangle out of it. Instead of building AI data centers, let's build biotech manufacturing. That's not just the medicines and the vaccines, it's the equipment. It's the syringes, the needles, all those things. We can then also invest in the 2 years that it takes to build those manufacturing plants, be sending people within 2 years to get their training at vocational tech schools. And then as soon as they're coming out of those schools, they're ready to go into these manufacturing jobs. We're in the center of the country, we could help supply that for our country and hold on to that. That's big business right here that we need to be focused on. Let's talk about manufacturing with those Republicans. Let's get them good paying jobs that are $25 an hour. So let's start there. Table the social issues. So 1 minute left.
One thing I tell my friends, who are all Republican, because I live in Dade County, when they bring up the abortion issue. First of all, I say, life does not start at, end at birth, because that seems to be where they're at. But the other thing is, I always tell them, you don't want the government to control these things. Because once the government, and I always point out China, once you let the government decide who can have an abortion, the government can decide who will have an abortion, because you've given them the power.
Yeah.
And the government should not have that power.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.